Okay, this video is going to be a bit different from the others because I realized when I started making, these, I wouldn't even call them lectures, basically these talks, uh, I never really made an introduction to what the goal of making this was. I don't really think I do have like a certain goal in mind, but basically, okay, I'll just give an introduction of myself first. I'm Navneet Krishna, a student of English Language and Literature at Amrita School of Arts and Sciences, Kochi. I'm a third year student right now. We are doing a fifth sim currently. And okay, now where do I go from here? Basically, the thing here is that I am like a huge, fan, I'd say, of literature in general. I love literature, and not for the sake of literature itself. I love criticism in general. I like to go deeper into things. I like to look beyond the lines. When you see memes of like English majors when they say oh, the curtain was red, and there's this one guy who's trying to go deeper into it. That's me. I like to overanalyze and overlook into things, basically break down everything. I talk in metaphors a lot. I've gotten a lot of complaint that from my friends as well. I just love literature in general. I like talking about literature. I like criticizing literature. Everything related to, I'd say, literature, philosophy, psychology, all those, the humanities era, right? I love that a lot. And, in my class, I have in the classes I have usually when we get free hours, we all have that one friend in class who's the one who explains things to you an hour before exam or the day before exam. That's kind of my position in class right now. Usually the day before an exam and the day of the exam, the morning is when I'm usually the most busiest because I'll have people asking me things. And I wouldn't, genuinely, I wouldn't call myself someone who's studious. I just love the thing, right? If you put me in like a science class or a math class, I wouldn't perform well. I try my best, but I wouldn't perform well. I'm not studious. I just love literature in general, philosophy in general, I'd say. So, yeah, at that point, we now this semester we have this subject, elements of literary criticism, and it is very, what I should say, it is very, I don't know the word, metaphysical, I would say. Like it's not literal. It's not. It's kind of pragmatic. It's all in thought, right? You can't by heart it. You have to understand it conceptually, right? I love it a lot, but a lot of my friends, a couple of my classmates, they were struggling to comprehend these ideas because I don't know why they have their own reasons. Of course, some are not just genuinely interested in literature, which is understandable. Some might not, be able to catch up with the way our ma'am is taking it in class. That could be the reason as well. Maybe they just miss points here and there. Maybe they do not have as much in-depth knowledge which they not choose to, because I do genuinely say the reason I know it this well because I've done past readings, right? I don't think if I just listened to the classes and read the prescribed textbook I would be this much knowledgeable. And I'm not saying you should, right? If you want to, you could, but so I have this knowledge. And as I explained these things in class, one day I was just sitting in class, trying to tell these people, our exams are coming up within almost a month. We'll have our mid exams. So I was telling them, we need to start with these studies because, there is a lot to understand. And I started going to, like, I took the textbook, I went in them, I started explaining, and they're like, do one thing, instead of explaining it now, take a voice and send it in WhatsApp later. And I was like, oh, so you want me to do all the work? No, like they basically said the idea was to that they could listen to it at any time, right? I need not be present there. It need not be in a class time. If I just record it and send a voice, they could easily listen to it. I did it once last time where I sat and explained the Northrop Frye's entire essay. It was like a 40-minute WhatsApp voice, and it was spread among a lot of my classmates. um, so they said basically, when you are free at your PG, at your home, when you're free, you have time, just, explain that, send it in a voice. And I thought, okay, that's great. But instead of voice, I'll just make it a video then because, I there is a lot of benefits of per video, I'd say, from voice. Okay, one, the benefit in on itself, I'm explaining it to the people, they will help understand. And it is when I read it again to explain it is when I learn it better, right? To conceptually understand it, I have to simplify it in my mind, and that simplification helps me stick it in my mind. It's much better. It like I remember things way better when I study it to explain it to someone else. That's one. Two is that. Again, this could apply to us as well, but it helps me develop my language as well, right? I don't know if you've noticed. Okay, people say I'm pretty good at conversations, but I don't genuinely think so. Okay, maybe on a surface level, true, but you might have noticed in these videos, I use filler words a lot. So so, about that. I use filler words a lot, and I want to try and reduce them. And the best way to do that is talking more and more, right? Right. So by talking again and again, getting used to it, I might cut back on this. And also I've noticed when I get into like something, I start talking faster and faster. My brain's like going faster and like, okay, get these ideas out faster. And tend to go a bit faster. So I want to also try controlling that as well. Turn back on the speed, get more fluency, get more flow in the speeches, right? And as good as I think my language is, I'm pretty awkward at conversations. I struggle in a lot of my body language, I'd say. So having this camera, it helps me be more conscious about it. I never had an issue with eye contact in on itself, but the body language, I struggle a lot with it. So I'm trying to work on that as well. So I thought making this video format would be much better, and I'll be publishing it on YouTube. Of course, it will be public. I don't genuinely think anyone other than these people who have given the link to are gonna come find it. But if they do, I hope that helps, or at least I hope you have fun watching. Me blabber about these things. And also, I just want to say, I'm a student, right? I'm just a third year student who's, I would say, in the grand scheme of things, I am new to literature. Although I've been reading literature for a long time, I'm still, new to the criticism aspect of it. So my knowledge on it is very limited. On the grand scheme of things, very, very limited. So I might miss out important information. I might skip out on important information. I might, accidentally say some wrong things sometimes. And if you do notice, please, 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 feel free to correct me. I do believe it's the Stoics that say, show me where I'm wrong, dash my ideas completely, and I will change it. Right. So if you do find mistakes there, please feel free to, or I'd say, I basically try to force you into saying, if you find wrong information, if you find limited information, please do say so. I'll try to correct it as much as possible. And yeah, I do believe that's all. So it's an awkward introduction, but an introduction was necessary. So there it is. Right now, I'm only planning on doing this, introduction to literary criticism in the point. But in our syllabus, we also do have drama. So right now in our drama syllabus, we are learning Dr. Faustus. I do believe it's a pretty easy work actually. Faustus, there is a lot of biblical allusions. So you know, the story is easy to understand. It's fun. So I don't think I'll be making videos on Faustus. Although if you want, I could. Next up, we have, I'll be doing a seminar in our class on importance of being earnest. I might as well record it as well and put it on YouTube. Again, there are some other subjects we have, like, phonetics. Don't ask me about phonetics. I don't know about phonetics, please. I'm not a huge fan of phonetics in on itself. If I look at syllabus, technical and professional communication, that's just purely theoretical. I think that's why I'm not a huge fan of phonetics or technical. It's purely theory. There is life skills, no comment. Spiritual literature, that's going to be a challenge, because genuinely, from an unbiased perspective, I do love spiritual literature. I believe it comes as an extended part of philosophy and humanities, right? It, to an extent, it is philosophy. It's just ornament ornamentalized, I don't know if that's a word, an ornamentalized version of philosophy, spirituality, that's all. But the way it's being taken class is questionable, I'd say, the least. But if I do think of talking about spiritual literature, I might, if there is like, if my classmates are the ones watching, hi, if you want me to talk about a certain spiritual work, either leave it in the comments or just say to me in person when I come to class. That's all I believe, right? Poetry, again, poetry is being kind of rushed in class. We're going at it fast by fast, but the thing with poetry is that you can find all things online. Like, it's all there online. At first, we had to, like, during sem one and two, we had to actually go through these websites and pages and look at it. Now everyone's just asking ChatGPT. It works though, so no complaints there. But yeah, that's basically all. I'll try my best to follow criticism as much as possible, and when we get to drama, if it is necessary, I'll do it on drama and spiritual literature as well. And if you do need one on poetry as well, I'll do that as well. So yeah, basically, that's it. I hope my language is easier to understand and follow. And check out the other videos. Thank you.